Hello, Libra. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the rest of May, Libra. How you doing? I hope you're well. Thanks for checking in here. Thanks for your click. I appreciate it. And let's find out what's going on you for the rest of May of 2026. Of course, I'll be back with the weeklies, but I thought it'd be nice to give you a little look-see into the future. See what could possibly be coming up for you. Please be reminded this is a general reading and it is not going to apply to everybody. We are this month looking at career, finances, and love. Let's take a look at that. We'll use this psychic tarot first, and then we'll hit it up with some regular tarot. Tell me about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Don't forget, at the end of this video, I'll tell you about how to find a private read and the extended if you're interested. Let's find out what's going on here. Okay, well, career tells me prosperity begins. So either things are about to get really good, you're about to get a raise or a promotion, something is growing here in the background that maybe you don't see, but you could also be beginning brand new. You could be leaving a job to go to another job, or if you're a person who's unemployed, I feel like something really abundant is coming. Next is finances. Finances brings the heart chakra. Oh, something here is connected to your heart. Finances are connected to your heart. We're going to have to find out what that means when we pull out the tarot. Let's talk about love. Tell me more about Libra. We've got solitude. What does that mean? We'll find out what it means when we pull out the tarot. We've got the truth. Judgment is here in the future. It feels like there's something that keeps showing up, I'm going to say, Libra. A situation that you are not interested in taking care of, figuring out. It feels like a truth keeps showing up and you might be ignoring it. It could be in a relationship. It could be at your workplace. A truth is showing up and you're like shoving it away, pushing it away, saying, no, that's not what's going on here. This is the Judgment card. I feel like the same thing keeps coming back round to you, so you'll pay attention. When you're ready to answer the call, right? Judgment card. When you're ready to answer the call, you will confront this truth. But I feel like right now you're like, that's not the truth. I don't believe it. Could be that. Base chakra. Could be about security and stability. Let's find out what is going on in the career. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for Libra. Tell me about prosperity. Prosperity covers a lot of stuff, right? Let's find out what this is. This is the Ace of Pentacles. So it feels like someone's either going to be making money, making more money. There's a cooperative energy here. Let's get together and build this thing. It could also be a business if you're a person who's looking at starting a business or a side hustle. We've got the Six of Swords. Look, it tells me that you might be in a job that's quite chaotic, actually. It might be so chaotic. You know those job postings, fast-paced environment, which really just means we understaffed, so you're going to have to hustle. It feels like you've been working and living in this career field or this job that is it is very chaotic. It feels like it's chaotic in the mind, and you need to go to a place that is a calmer place. It feels like emotional calm. I feel like you are somebody who is probably quite emotional. So you might have a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer heavily in your chart, no matter where your Libra sign is, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter. It does feel like you are trying to, I think that it feels like in your job or in your career, you're expected to be stoic. So maybe you're somebody who has to work with a poker face. Maybe you're a poker player, but maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're a lawyer. Like it feels like somebody here, psychologist, right? Somebody who has to remain stoic on the surface while all the chaos is going on around them. That's what it makes me feel. But it also feels like you probably might want to leave here. All of this, you might want to leave this chaos behind. So we've got the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're forced to hold back emotionally in the job that you're in. Whatever it is, I feel like you're not allowed to feel your feelings. You got to shut them down. And it feels as though you are ready to possibly, look, he's holding one pentacle and there's one pentacle here. I feel like you are ready to do something new. I feel like suppressing your feelings while the chaos goes on around you is not good for your mental health, nor is it good for your physical health. And so it feels as though you always have to hold back. You always have to act as though you're shut off and shut down. You can't be emotional. And so that tells me that you do some type of job that deals with people, and maybe in an emergency situation, you could be an EMT, somebody who works in the ER, right? An ER nurse. It feels like it's really hard on you though. It feels like that. Yeah, and I feel like underneath, because the King of Cups, everything goes on underneath the surface, right? And I feel like the Five of Wands is the battle, the emotional battle that you have with yourself. Oh, I just want to hug you. Libra, it feels like you have this emotional battle going on. And look, you don't have to be in any of the workplaces that I suggested, but it does feel like whatever you do, you feel as though you're not allowed to show your feelings, that people depend on you to be in charge, to be stoic. Scorpio energy, which is what the King of Cups is. Scorpio energy is the one who's going to run into a burning building for you. Well, maybe you're a firefighter. Like, it feels like that. You have to hold back your feelings, and you have to keep them shut off and shut down. And I feel like that's a bit chaotic for you, my friend. All right, we'll go back to that. Let's talk about finances. There's something here that's connected to your heart, my friend. Tell me about the heart chakra. We've got the Seven of Swords. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. What are you concealing? It feels like you want to make a purchase or plant a seed. It feels like you are not telling anybody, or you're keeping it concealed. Look, it's really hard to shut it off, right? Like, if that's how you are in your job and you're at your job most of the time, it's really hard to all of a sudden be open-hearted, right? In your life, it feels like there is, oh boy, let's get more cards, because this Seven of Swords is, I don't know if it feels so good with this Ace of Pentacles here. Tell me about this. Ace of Swords. I feel as though there is something here that's attached to your heart. It feels like it could be a purchase or an investment. So the investment could be a large purchase, right? Like a house or a car. Maybe you're planning on having a large gathering for a marriage or something like that. Or maybe you're buying an engagement ring. It feels as though nobody knows about it. And I'm just looking at this little fox here, looking back at the Seven of Swords. It feels like something has changed within your financial situation. It feels as though you are keeping it quiet because you want to use this overage to invest in something. I feel like you'll speak on it eventually, but it does feel like it is something that's close to your heart or connected to your heart. Tell me more. Let's put one more card down here. We have the Judgment card. You are about to answer the call. There is something financial that keeps bringing itself to your attention. That's what it feels like, Libra. I'm trying to feel what this is. It's like it's financial clarity. There's something here that either you're avoiding or that it keeps coming back around and sort of poking you in the side of the head and saying, hey, it's time to take care of this. So I'm going to say be careful, because if your heart is attached to your finances, if you feel heart happy, if you feel really emotionally happy when your finances are stable, or you feel really emotionally happy when you can invest in something that you've always wanted, a house, a car, a marriage, whatever this is, it feels like more is on the line for you than just money, dollars and cents. It feels like you invest your whole emotional self into something that you want to invest in. So it feels like this opportunity keeps showing up. You can't stop thinking about it, or somebody's like, remember, Libra, remember, I still have that cottage for sale. It feels like something that keeps showing up that you really want to invest in. I think you're going to do your due diligence, because the Ace of Swords is here. You need to get clarity. You won't do anything until you overthink it 1,000 times. So I think you're keeping it to yourself at this time. It feels like it's attached to your heart. So maybe if it's a purchase of something big, like a house or a cottage or something like that, maybe it's attached to a memory. Maybe it's attached to someone you know. Maybe it's the family home. Maybe it's a house or a cottage or a piece of land that's been in your family forever. It feels like it keeps coming back to you and you do want to invest, but I think that you're keeping this information concealed for some reason. We will go back to it and we'll clarify it a bit more. Let's talk about solitude, because this is the love energy here. Now, it can be platonic or romantic. Keep that in mind. It doesn't always have to be about romantic love, but let's find out why you're in solitude in terms of love. We've got the Knight of Swords. We've got the Empress in reverse. And we've got the Hanged Man. It does feel like it feels like you do want to move forward in terms of love. You do want to move forward, but the solitude tells me with the Empress in the reverse that we haven't been talking. I do want to do something. I do want to move forward. I just want to say it. But there's this awkward space where we haven't really been speaking to each other. When the Empress is in the reverse, the Empress is just minding her business, doing her own thing, building whatever it is that she's building. She's creating, right? The Empress might be silent or quiet because the Empress doesn't chase. Empress in the reverse tells me that this person might be in a pause, trying to get perspective as to why you are not pursuing. Now, I'm saying that like you could be the Empress, right? Because the Empress is Libra and Taurus energy. So you could easily be the Empress, whether you're a man or a woman, by the way, because Libra is masculine energy while Taurus is feminine energy. So whether you're feminine or masculine Empress, it feels as though somebody here is working on their stability. Maybe this person's building a business, or maybe they have some children that they're caring for. If they do, they might be a single parent and they might be keeping them busy. You know, I feel like this Knight of Swords is, I just really want to say it, but I don't want to bust into their life. Well, it feels weird because we haven't spoken to each other. We really haven't said much to each other. And then all of a sudden I'm going to be here talking about my feelings. So I think that solitude means that you've been trying to find your own light. So I'm going to say that I feel like you and the Empress, whether you are the Empress or not, take your side. You and the Empress are probably mirroring each other right now. It feels like you're in solitude, trying to find your light, trying to check over all the parts of you to make sure that you're good to go, that you are good, and that you have all the details you need. And it feels like the Empress might be doing the same thing. The Hangman tells me that I think there is a perspective that is needed here. Somebody is trying to get their perspective about what to do next. Libra, I'm going to say if you're not the Empress, you're not used to having to chase, or you're not used to being the person who has to step forward first. Possibly you're a person, whether you are a man or a woman, who's always been pursued. Maybe you just have not dealt with an Empress before. The Empress in the reverse to me is minding her business. This is somebody who's taking care of her stability, taking care of her independence, trying to be independent. It feels like somebody is just very much caught up in their own world. And so everything has come to a pause. And so I feel as though this Empress is minding her business, or his business, but it feels like they would allow you in. I'm going to say, because the Knight of Swords is here, and the Knight of Swords is just going to kick open the door and say, all right, I got something to say. I think that's what the Empress is waiting for, but in the meantime, is taking care of life in general. This feels like a really big burden. I don't think you know how to approach an Empress. Look, there could be an age difference here. We do have a Knight and an Empress. I feel like the Knight is also saying you need to be brave enough to just speak up, because Gemini wouldn't do anything less. And sometimes Gemini will just blurt it out. I feel like you're overthinking it, so you're not blurting it out, and you're sitting in solitude overthinking. The Ten of Wands tells me that you're carrying around some sort of burden in the mind. You don't know what the Empress is doing. You don't know what the Empress is feeling, and I think it's all because you really haven't asked. It feels like you're afraid to ask. Because what if it leads somewhere and you're not ready for it to lead anywhere? You're being very careful, I guess is what I'm saying, but it starts to become heavy. The pause and the silence have become heavy. And I don't think that you know exactly what you want to do from here. So, very interesting, because I feel like you're really struggling with your stability, security, or feeling secure in yourself. And this thing keeps coming back, right? We've got Judgment here twice. This thing, I feel, keeps coming back. So I feel like the universe is asking you to even the score, make it so, answer the call. It's time for you to step out of your comfort zone and stop feeling so heavily weighed down by the silent pause. That's what it feels like here. We've got the Five of Cups. Interesting. And the Page of Wands. It feels like hurry up and wait. Like the Five of Cups feels like the regret that I didn't say something when I had the chance to say something. Because I think you're sitting here on this Ace of Cups here. Yeah, look at that. The Two of Cups is behind the Ace of Cups. I think you want the reunion. I think you want to see this person out socially. Yeah, I feel like you might, this messenger here, this one is the one for me that's a text. I think that you might send a text because I feel like the silence that is continuing between you and this person, if you are not the Empress, this person's never going to reach out to you first. If you are the Empress, you're probably wondering what the heck is going on. Why did it go so quiet? I don't understand. Well, I'll just work on me and I'll just heal myself. And it wouldn't be the first time somebody just ghosted me. Like, I feel like you're feeling that way if you are the Empress. So it feels like there is somebody here who's feeling regretful that they didn't take action when they had the moment to do it. So I feel like somebody is going to take action, by the way, because this is future energy, right? Somebody's going to take action that was feeling regretful that they didn't express their emotions at the time that they had with the Empress. If you are interested in coming into the extended, I am going to clarify all of this more. In fact, I'm going to put down 3 cards here. And for those of you who aren't interested in coming into the extension, we'll give you a little bit of energy here. For those of you who are interested in it, I'll put these cards down. We'll clarify everything and we'll talk about your outcome here. Let's find out what's going on. If you want to come to the extended, please check the pinned comment. It's under every video that I upload. There you will find 2 links, one for the membership and one for private reads. So if you're interested in either of those, please go check the pinned comment. There's a link for each. All right, we've got the High Priestess. See, there has been silence. Ooh, the quiet before the storm. Look at this. The Fool, the High Priestess, and the Judgment card. Somebody here is literally listening. Somebody here is listening. We've got the Fool. Somebody does want to take a leap, but isn't that interesting that your energy just showed up here? I feel like I think that you've been heartbroken in the past. I feel like you don't know what to say, and you need to stay in balance. And if you take this leap of faith, you might not feel in balance. So I think that's why you remain silent. It's not like you don't want to. It's that I feel like you just don't want to be hurt. You don't want to repeat a cycle of pain because I feel like you've been healing for a really long time. Got the Chariot. I think you're going to do something, friend. Yep, there it is. I feel, Libra, either someone's coming toward you and it's going to shock the heck out of you, or it's you that is going to roll up on someone here. I feel like you do want to see somebody here that you've maybe been watching them from a distance, observing them and what they're doing. And I feel like you're getting feelings here, but you're keeping them under the surface because that's the Chariot, right? Keeping it under the surface, disciplining how I feel, and I'm not really sure what to do from here. Well, I feel like you want to take the leap, but I feel like you want to heal first. I think you're going to remain silent. We're going to go into the extended and see what else is going on. I'm going to go for now, but I will be back because I'm always back. Thank you, Libra, for being here, and see you in the extended. Bye-bye.